Howdy! Hey, this is Tom the Beer Whisperer back at you. I am still drinking the Jamoke, and I'm still drinking my Jim Beams. I'm not pounding this stuff. But I thought, well, since I had so much to talk about, I'd do another part. I may do several. But we're just kind of recapping the year. I already talked about Seamus's health that we've gone through this year. I also talked about being a grandpa. But I haven't talked about a lot of beers yet, so that's what I want to talk about in part two. Mm. I drank a lot of fine beers this year, some in part due to the kindness of others. So I want to thank them. Tom Shipman, for instance, Jeremy Weeks, uh, um, Stuart Pickard, and I hope I pronounced her last name right, Lucie Melahn, all provided the Beer Whisperer with some beers. I did beer trades with all these folks, so I'm thankful for all that beer. Yeah, a lot of it. There's many that I wouldn't have got. The first beer trade that I did this year was with Jeremy Weeks, and uh, Jeremy was responsible. I'm having trouble talking already. It's my first beer. Responsible for me being able to drink a heady tupper. Holy crap in a basket! Oh man, that beer was good. I did a video for it back in May when I drank it, and I kind of forgot about it. About a week ago, I just noticed that the page for their Facebook page for the brewer, the Alchemist, listed my they posted my video on their page as their favorite. They had said that they have seen many videos, but this one was by far their favorite. It was mine. I was shocked because I don't really do a peer review. Anybody that's seen my stuff knows I don't do a peer review. It's more reactionary. I do more commentary than actual review. So, but I was surprised, and boy, I tell you what, it jacked the hits up on my video. I went from a few to quite a few. So that was kind of exciting. He also sent me a few others that were enjoyable, and I'm not going to remember them all, but here's a couple of them. The Frosty Knuckle Sea Spray IPA was very nice. The Zoe, I believe it was Maine Brewing Company. Happy Hoppy Amber was incredibly well. There was also Trog's Nugget Nectar, but by far the big standout was obviously the Heady Topper. Beast. And my cat Beast, she's the crazy one. Anyway, Lucie was part of a homebrew operation. I had inquired about their beer. They sent me four of them, and for the life of me, I'm only remembering three at the moment. They sent me there was a red ale. The Jackpot Rye, which is a rye, more of a rye pale than a rye IPA, but it was just excellent, and a black lager. The black lager really took me by surprise because it's not a style that really usually knocks my socks off. It's kind of one of those styles that I drink every now and again, but it's not one of those wow styles for me. So, but that black lager was one of the best I've ever had, bar none. That rye was just beautiful too. I drank that rye on my birthday. That jackpot rye, I think is what they called it. I believe it was a 7% rye, if I remember right. It might have been 8. Oh, it was just amazing, incredible rye flavor, that spiciness. It was just awesome. And Tom Shipman, I will not forget Tom Shipman. Tom Shipman has sent us so many good beers through the course of the year. The one standout for me was resin. I love the 6 Point resin. And I did a review on it. He sent me one can, and I did a review. And a couple folks from a couple beer groups I was in had mentioned that they thought it was okay, but not great. And so I thought, well, maybe I was reading it wrong. When Stuart was here, he sent us a 4-pack, which Stuart and I both split two of them. He drank one on his own, and I've got one left in there. But when I was drinking those two that we split, no, it just kind of solidified my original opinion that is just a fine beer. Maybe some people aren't quite getting it, or it's a little different. Maybe it's a little oily. It's very concentrated hops. But oh, I just love it. And I've got one more can in there. I don't know if I'll do a video with it or not because I've already done a video. What I'll probably do is pour some in a small glass and do a short video. But I really just want to sit down and just enjoy that beer and not have to be talking over it the whole time. I just want my taste buds to soak it up. That beer was just so beautiful. He sent a couple from Brew Kettle that were just freaking phenomenal. The Winter Warmer was very nice, but the Old 21 Imperial IPA was just gorgeous. Oh, just seriously big piney hops in that thing. It was just beautiful, put together perfectly. So let's see. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out there, but boy, I just want to thank all those people for all the good beer they sent me this year. Uh, because normally, if Seamus hadn't been diagnosed with leukemia, I don't know if we'd ever got to St. Louis this year. Probably not, to be honest. But since he was, we had to be in St. Louis often, which gave me the opportunity, since we were there, going back and forth, to try various brews up there. And I didn't realize at the time. Hold on, I got to stretch again. I didn't realize at the time that they have just a grunt load of small craft or artisan breweries up there. There's a bunch. I mean, just to name a few, there's Four Hands, Urban Chestnut, Civil Life, Six Row. What else? Crown Valley's not exactly in St. Louis, but they're close. Oh gosh, there's more that I'm just not remembering right now. Augusta's not far from there. I mean, there's just many out there. I've told this story before, so I hate to repeat myself, but about 3 weeks in, at the hospital, Seamus's godparents came up to visit, and my best friend Chris took me out for a beer. He said, "We're just getting out for a little bit. There's a little place that we could walk to." So, and I sat and had a beer with him, and it was Four Hands Centennial Reprise Red, and it's that big American hoppy red style, and it is just beautiful. And sometimes it's a moment, it's that moment you go, oh man. And it was kind of that. I hadn't had a beer in 3 weeks, and it just hit the spot. It was so good, and I've had it several times since. It's just a gorgeous beer. I've had their Divided Sky Rye, which is great. Their Single Speed Session Blonde was just beautiful. I mean, everything they do is great. Urban Chestnut has a chestnut ale that's just beautiful called Wingnut. They've got a great summer. One of the best summer brews I had this year was their Zwickel, which is a German style. It's a cloudy lager. It's not a wheat. It's designed to be cloudy, kind of an orangish colored lager, and it is just beautiful. One of the most refreshing beers you'll ever have. It was just great. Six Row's got several great beers I've had throughout the year. Civil Life, I got a growler of their rye. Again, it's just a 4.5% session rye, more of a lighter pale ale. It's not an IPA. But boy, the flavor on that was just gorgeous as well too. So, wow. So anyway, I just wanted to recap a few brews. So anyway, hi, how are you? Hey, I'm Beer Whisperer, and I'm recapping the year. So I've talked about Seamus' health and being a new granddad in one video, and I talked about several brews in the other. So hey, we're counting down the year, baby. It's time to Beer Whisperer. Woo-hoo!